Your 20s are really hard. I'm 24, I don't even feel like I'm a real adult at this point. You all of a sudden have all of these responsibilities, but you're still trying to figure out who you are as a person. Luckily, there are people who have been through it all before and are willing to share the great lessons they've learned. Today, I spoke with Cait Flanders, bestselling author of The Year of Less, who did something really drastic in her 20s to break her unhealthy shopping habits. She decided to quit shopping for an entire year. I cannot imagine. She also has a brand new book out called Adventures in Opting Out, where she shares her tips on living a simpler, more intentional life. Hope you enjoy this conversation. Cait Flanders, you have a best-selling book, The Year of Less, which is such a fantastic read. It documents a very extreme experiment in your life. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so The Year of Less is based off of a year where I decided to buy essentially nothing. I guess not really nothing. I was still allowed to buy, we'll call them like consumables. So things like groceries, I could put gas in my car, obviously buy basic toiletries like deodorant and toothpaste and things you need. But I couldn't buy anything that was non-essential. So clothes, shoes, books, magazines, things for around the house. It came from a place of being very aware of the fact that I had spent tons and tons of money over the years on stuff that I either never used or never even really wanted. I was like buying it for all the wrong reasons. And so the two things combined just seemed like I'm gonna try this thing where I basically am just not consuming for a year. I think on maybe a more emotional level, probably the biggest thing I learned was that I was I was a much more emotional shopper than I realized, or just emotional consumer. And that I talk about that a lot in the book, is that, you know, when I was younger, I started drinking actually quite young, and I stopped when I was 27. And I think because drinking was no longer an option, shopping then became the next thing, right? So it's like, because I couldn't drink away maybe sadness or rejection or anxiety, I would spend money instead and temporarily feel better. And the biggest thing that year taught me was I had to feel my feelings and just get on with it afterwards. It was hitting a great big pause, not only on shopping or of course drinking obviously, but really sitting with myself for the first time, like sitting with my feelings.